You're with Destination Newry. Martin Savage, you're most welcome. That was me being a tough guy.
Nearly there.
But you see, I'm the guy with the white belt. Martin is the guy with the black belt. Black belts don't come easily.
Well, get there eventually, you know.
Yeah.
Probably about 3 or 4 years from
starting. It's
yeah.
a huge achievement,
Yeah.
Martin. But even in the way, it's a lifetime since I ever was in a dojo, and for the purposes of Martin's presence today, we've turned Studio One into a dojo, a judo dojo, a place of training, a place of dedication to the discipline, the art, and the joy of judo, and that's why Martin is here. But even in my immaturity, using this here, this is a tougher bit of material. Even the way I tie the belt is wrong. Martin is there. It's a solid knot there that makes a difference. He's a man that means to do business and well able to do so. It's not the day or yesterday that you first, Martin, set foot in a dojo.
No, it was 1966.
Yeah, remind the people of the occasion and how it happened.
It was a combination of factors that brought me there, but my father was interested in things Japanese. He had died. He wanted me to do something self-defense like boxing. I had no interest in that.
No.
Somebody bought me a James Bond annual for Christmas with judo throws in it, little pictures of judo throws, and I sort of thought, I might have a go at that.
Yeah.
And then one of the lads in school, I was first year at the Tech at that stage, he had been doing judo in the Bosco, and he said, come on up. So myself and my friend Francis Campbell, we headed up, and we went into the dojo. Frank Watson, Cecil Stevens, people like Pat Crawley
Yes.
were there, and it was something special. It was somewhere I felt when I walked through the door that there was something. This is where I was meant to be. Let's put it that way.
And of course, you were going to it as a raw fledgling, a boy of Newry going into the samurai world, so to speak, of the dojo and of judo.
Yeah, I was cannon fodder.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Yes, because in those days, I'm not saying that they were hard with you, but certainly somebody new coming into the dojo, it was somebody to be tried out and see just how tough they are, and that type of thing. Yeah.
But the business of can you recall a moment in the journey, on the journey to your black belt, through to the stage you're at now of very experienced in the work of judo? Can you recall a moment when the boy turned into a man, so to speak?
Probably didn't happen in Newry. I would say that more likely happened when I was in Belfast, and I was training there with a man from Andersonstown, in fact, Jack Carbine, who was at that stage the top man in the Northern Ireland Judo Federation. At that stage it was just an area of the British Judo Association. It wasn't a federation in its own right. And there was no particular instance, but it was around about that sort of time. Probably when I went to my first grading in Queen's, and that was a scary experience. But it was something totally new. You were out of your own area, out of your own comfort zone. Everything was strange, and you felt to yourself, if I can deal with this, this was hard. I dealt with this. Right, it's time to move on. I can go on and do other things.
You felt that within you something had changed.
I felt that I could achieve things. Something I didn't think I could have done before that.
So your father's design had come to pass.
We could say that. Yes,
he had introduced you to the notion of physicality and doing something.
And you use the word design. Actually, his interest in things Japanese would have been artistic, Japanese art and that type of thing.
Yes. Where did it come from, that interest?
I have no idea.
He just was drawn to it.
Unfortunately, he died when I was 11, so we didn't have a chance to have that sort of.
How old was he when he
was only 45.
A young man.
Young man, yeah. We didn't get a chance to have that sort of conversation.
Now, Warren Point continues. The judo in Warren Point continues.
Yes.
You're back into the new season.
We're back in
winter time.
Yes, last week, in fact, the two juniors that were down here earlier on in the summer, they and another lad went up to brown belt. So they are now just their next step will be going for their black belt.
The black belt.
Yeah.
How significant? We all know a black belt is mega. It's the thing. How significant in terms of the journey is the black belt? What's the difference between a brown belt and a black belt, for example?
On the day, absolutely nothing.
Really?
Really. Because it depends on which way you get it. Well, it doesn't depend on which way you get it. If you get it by competitiveness, which was the way it used to be done, you had to win so many fights. Well, you go into the dojo or into the training hall on a Sunday morning for your grading, right? At 11 o'clock, you're a brown belt. At 12 o'clock, you're a black belt. What
Wow.
has changed?
What has changed?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. You are no better than you were. All you simply done was prove what it was that you could do. And the same for non-competitive technical gradings. You know a certain amount of techniques and a certain amount of terminology. You know that at 11 o'clock, you're asked it at 12, and you've got your downgrade. Nothing really has changed. It's symbolic. In Japan, actually, a black belt is not very important.
Really?
You know, certainly not the first dan. You know, 1 year's training will get you your first dan
Yeah.
in Japan, and it's not considered a very high grade at all. It's a step.
What is your grade? Which Dan are you?
Depends which script you read. British Judo Association, I'm a second dan.
Second Dan.
British Judo Council, I'm a second dan. Hong Kong Judo Federation, I would be a fourth dan.
I'll go for the Hong Kong one.
Yeah, well, that's a non-competitive grading. You know,
Yeah.
it's a sort of honorary grade, if you like. But
Well, you're going to help me now. You're going to take me back down memory lane to my judo days.
Yeah.
And what are we going to do this morning?
we're going to do a type of training called uchikomi. This is very basic.
Ichikomi.
Uchikomi.
Uchikomi.
Uchikomi. It's two words which technically means crashing in. Right?
Yeah.
In order to
in.
yeah, yeah, it comes from Japanese game of Go. I don't know if you've heard of Go. It's a sort of Japanese chess. It comes from that. But in order to throw somebody or take control of somebody, you have to enter their space.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what uchikomi is. It's entering into the space, right? Crashing into the space.
Yeah.
There's three stages to a throw. Right? There's breaking balance, kazushi. There's fitting into the position, to get into the right position, which is called sakuri, and then there's gaki, which is the actual throw. In uchikomi, you only do the first two. You break the balance.
You break the balance.
You get into position, and
you're ready to
and you're ready to throw, but you don't actually complete the throw. You can back out. The advantage of that being is you can get a lot more attacks and a lot more practice in at doing those two areas of the technique.
So this morning as we do the exercise, I should be attempting to prevent you breaking my balance.
No. You'll be totally cooperative. Right?
Oh,
Absolutely totally cooperative, because it's not a contest situation. Right?
Yes.
Okay. And you can have various degrees of cooperation. At beginner level, you're absolutely totally cooperative. As the person becomes better, you can put in little bits of resistance and make him work harder. You can do it as a single person exercise, or you can do it as a paired exercise. I would do it at home with 2 rubber bands.
Really?
Tied to the handle of a door, using them
Oh
as
yeah,
arms.
and you're going, yeah.
Yes,
you're
yeah.
going
I was using them like that.
Yeah. Tai Chi from the Chinese, is it, or Japanese Tai Chi?
It's not really Tai Chi, but Tai Chi would be different.
Have you
But
done Tai Chi?
I haven't done Tai Chi. No, I haven't.
It's interesting for an old fellow like me just to keep sort of mobile and that sort of thing.
Well, not even old people. You see young people. They do it in the parks.
Yes.
And they I think the thing is ki or chi means energy.
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 Right. Yeah.
It's ki in Japanese, it's chi in Chinese. And they extract that from the air and from the trees, and that's why they do this in the parks and the mornings.
Let us see now what we can do. We're going to take our microphones off, and we will return to them when, as and when we can during the exercise. Put it in that chair over there. As and when we can. But stay with us and observe entering the space, crashing into the space.
Okay. I'll show you how to do it first, just
by myself,
and then I'll let you do
And we start with the...
Okay. We take a technique very simply like Tayatoshi. You're gripping the collar, you're gripping the sleeve, you're turning
Okay.
to there, and then back out.
So I'm going to... Yeah.
That's your movement.
So
So you
this...
do that with me. Look, grip here, grip the sleeve, yeah, and just put your right leg in front. Okay. Bring your left leg round behind, pull the sleeve, and then put your leg across the front. That's it. And then come back out again. And then back in again.
Yeah.
Just
And
keep
one
doing
more.
just keep doing that. You can do that.
Um,
Bring your leg round. Put your step forward first.
Yep.
It makes it easier. Bring your leg round behind. Step across. And make sure you pull this.
Yeah,
And
okay,
again.
once
One
more.
more. Turn. Yep. And you got to watch your own balance.
Yeah, okay, try with me now.
Standing there. This leg comes round behind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. Yeah.
So this hand's doing a lot of the work.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm gone. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Right. Another one you can do is Osotogari.
Osotogari.
Right. So I'll do it in you first.
Yeah.
You step alongside.
Alongside, okay.
Break the balance to the rear.
Yeah.
And the idea is to bring your leg through.
Wow, yes,
and
yes,
take
yes,
the
yes,
leg.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you step alongside, note with the other leg,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And you break my balance to the rear, and then bring your leg through. That's it.
And we're going.
And then back it. And then again. That's it.
I find myself leaning back a bit. That's not good.
You should go lean in the direction of the throw.
Okay.
But again, you've got to be careful because you can lean too far and then
Yeah,
lose
and then you're gone.
And you
Okay.
turn to the throw. Okay. Another one is hip one Seanagi. I do it just by myself first.
Okay.
So you turn, you break his balance.
Mm-hmm.
Put your arm underneath his armpit. Turn.
And you're ready to throw.
And then you lift to do the throw.
Okay.
So you're there. Okay. This arm goes under here.
Under here.
As you step forward with this foot,
And where am I going to put it?
yeah, just bring the other leg round behind you.
Right
So,
here.
so you're right round in front of me.
Right.
Yeah, just
And
relax.
I've got the two.
Just relax there slightly.
Yeah.
And so it allows you to turn completely. Let yourself turn completely in front of me. That's it. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
going.
and come in there with your knees bent.
Okay.
So same again with your knees bent. No, don't step across.
No.
One foot there. One foot
Oh, yeah.
there. Yeah. That's it. And bring this leg back. Oh, bend your knees. Perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
And one more. And just stay totally relaxed the whole way through. Get you in a lot easier. It's very hard to move in when you ask. Brilliant. There you go. Great.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Shall we continue our interview?
Okay, sure.
That might be the thing. We'll pick up our mic again there. It's exciting. It's very satisfying actually, because you get the sense of doing the right thing, and that the philosophy, more the physics of it begin to come into play.
Yeah.
Because when I bent the knees there,
Yes.
I knew you were on my back. I could have walked with you.
You should be able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But before I bent the knees, there was no way I was going to move you.
This is what happens to a lot of people in throws. They turn in and they're up straight and they're trying to pull the guy over.
No good.
You bend the knees.
Down, and you got him.
And then you can pull them onto your hip or
Yeah.
onto your shoulders, and then as you straighten up, the
Yeah.
focus completely. Yeah.
Okay, who are the promising people in Warren Point at the moment? Who are the stars of tomorrow? Have you got such?
The two lads that were here, John Smith and Peter Smith, Brian Smith and Peter Smith, they would.
Oops, don't worry about that. Just fit it on.
Yeah. They would be the two up and coming.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, they would be the two up and coming. They're now brown belts. They're very, very good competitively, and as I told you last day, they are British kata champions. So technique-wise, they're very, very good as well.
I would be aware, in doing what we were doing there, I suppose the word is a tenderness in my skeleton, because I haven't done it in 60 years.
Yes, surely.
So I wouldn't have, maybe just 50 years. But I would be aware of the tenderness, and I would be protecting myself in it. So for someone of my age, wanting to do judo and wanting to develop the skill and the discipline and the strength of body, the physicality, the strength of spirit, it's still possible given those limitations, is it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That exercise, say, for example, doing Uchikomi, there may be certain throws that you'll have difficulty doing because of stiffness or injury. Right? But other techniques you should be able to get into. You can see the advantage. If you were doing that very, very fast, say you're doing sets of 10 or sets of 20, you would be out of breath.
You would. A good aerobic.
Yes, a good aerobic. It's also good for flexibility because, as you saw in that last Ippon Seanagi, you need a certain degree of flexibility.
Oh, absolutely.
To allow
Big
yourself
time,
to turn.
yeah.
Right. It teaches you to relax because if you're tensed up, you can't get in. It's too difficult to get in. And you get beginners will tense up when they're competing or in randori. Their arms will be tight, and they wonder why they can't get in. Because what they have to do first of all is relax, and that takes time. And by the time they've relaxed, the opportunity is gone.
Martin Savage, thank you very much indeed. How do we end the session in the dojo?
We end basically the way we started. Right? There's an elaborate, if you were in the dojo and you were doing a proper session, there would be a bowing on and a bowing off procedure. When you were finishing, it's just the opposite of what you did at the start.
But in the bowing is interesting. The bowing is interesting because you don't bow like...
No.
There's part of you...
Yeah. Samurai might have bowed like that, believe it or not, right?
Because they were challenging
because
you.
yeah,
Come and take me if you can.
Yeah, basically that, and they didn't necessarily were showing respect because they were in danger of being attacked. But here, your heels are together, which it puts you in an off-balance position.
Yeah, so you're showing respect.
Showing respect, but equally you don't want to show the top of your head either.
Because you get straight down.
You get straight. But if you do that, that's showing disrespect too.
Oh yeah, but
because
you don't. You just...
So you bow from the waist, and the hands come from the side down towards the knees like that. And my peripheral vision, I can see you, I can see what's going on.
Oh,
around
yes,
me.
absolutely.
And then back. The degree of the bow reflects how important the person you're bowing to is.
Yeah.
You know, if it was the emperor, it would be a 90-degree bow, and then
very much so.
or probably
back
more a 40. But for most purposes, it's about a 30
30-degree bow.
30-degree bow. There.
Fine.
Yes, yeah.
Martin Savage, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Music, sir.